Being more consistent or being more disciplined is not how you connect with your body. It's also not the way to realign with your feminine energy. There is a very specific reason for it. The female body works on a flow system, and that is your monthly cycle. We have not one, not two, not three, four different phases. And each phase of our cycle conveys a specific message to what we are guided to do, to how we are guided to connect with our body and with our energy. For example, one of our phases may be asking us to withdraw, to pull back our energy, to go inwards, and to open the connection and the channel between us and the divine, and to receive that divine wisdom as to where we are, how we want to move from here. So we know that when our menstrual phase comes next, we know what we're letting go of, we know what we're releasing, we know what is no longer playing a role in our life towards our spiritual growth and our expansion as women, as souls. Ovulation phase is asking us to birth into existence, to go outwards, to open up widely to the world, to show who you are, to show your glow, to show your magnetism, to show confidence. They're different phases, and they're asking you to connect with yourself in a different way. So each time I hear a woman being advised, you need to do more work, you need to be more consistent, you need to put yourself out there, or maybe you're a drama queen, or maybe you're too lazy, my heart shrinks, because this woman used to be me. I used to be that woman who believed all of that. And let me tell you, I felt so disconnected from myself throughout the whole of my 20s, because this was the advice I was living by. I remember after I graduated from law school and I got a corporate job, when I would come back home from work, I would sit to rest a little bit, and I would feel guilty that I'm resting. I am being non-productive. How am I going to account for this time that I'm sitting and doing nothing? And this is a response that the body has. This is the response of the nervous system. You know, there is something that I wanna add here, which I find very, I want to say funny, but that's not the right word, because it comes with a sense of pain as well. There's this trend that has just started on TikTok and on Instagram about, there's this quote about feminine energy being soft, being calm, and being quiet. And then there is clips that follow of volcanoes erupting, or waves crashing, or like a lion is running or preparing to hunt. And the message that this trend is conveying is that the feminine energy is not about softness, and it's not about being quiet and being calm, but the feminine energy is also about rage, and it's also about anger, and it's about, you know, all these erupting feelings. And this kind of touches base on the previous video I posted last week on how your body shrinks when you suppress your feminine energy. If you haven't watched it, you can go check it out. But the message that I want to share here with regards to this trend is, whenever a woman believes that her softness and her being quiet and being calm is actually not her power, this means that she hasn't unlocked her divine wisdom, because that is the energy of the high priestess. A woman unlocks her divine wisdom, her inner wisdom, when she is able to remain quiet, when she is able to remain calm when there is a storm around her, because within herself, she's connected. She's connected to her core. She is anchored in her divine purpose, in her divine femininity. And nothing and nobody can cause a reaction from her. Does that mean that the feminine is not allowed to be angry or to be frustrated or to be wild? Of course not. But why is the feminine getting angry and frustrated? Why is she getting all these heavy emotions? Because she is rebalancing herself. She is looking to bring that softness and to bring that flow within herself. I think that many women still have an issue with the word soft. And from a divine feminine perspective, softness is the greatest power a woman can have. But soft doesn't mean voiceless. Soft doesn't mean easy to manipulate. Soft doesn't mean naive. Soft doesn't mean a victim. Soft is the water. Soft is the wind. Soft is the fire. Do you see where I'm going? Softness is a power that a woman understands once she's tapped into it. But when she hasn't discovered her inner wisdom, she is reactive to her external environment. And when she is reactive to her external environment, she is changing her own vibration. And perhaps that's a separate video that I'm going to make around frequencies and how we inevitably manifest what's within us. The message here is when a woman disconnects from her body, meaning when she is not consciously aligned with her cycle and with the purpose of each phase and with the direction that her body is nudging her towards, she becomes like all these disasters that we saw in that video, the volcano erupting. Why is the volcano erupting? Because there is something deep in the earth that is realigning, readjusting, and it's causing all this magma to flare up. Why are the animals hunting? Why is the lioness hunting? Why is she prepping? And I want to talk about the way how she's doing it. So when the lioness is looking for food, she's doing it because she has a hunger, because she has an unmet need, right? And so she is going quiet, she's laying down, she's trying to spot her prey. But again, she's doing this in a very magnetic, very soft, very flowy way. And once she spotted it, she jumps. So she is quiet and she is calm when she's on the process and on the way of finding her prey. So let's talk about the different phases of our menstrual cycle and what each of those mean from a spiritual, from an energetic perspective. And we're going to start with the luteal phase, which is the one that we dislike the most. This is the phase I'm currently in as I'm filming this video. The luteal phase is very specific because it's a call to go inwards. This is when you feel like you don't really want to talk to anybody. You don't want to meet anybody, that connections and interactions with the external world are rather annoying, and there's a reason for it. You are being asked to go inwards because your connection with the divine is opening wider. This is when you are about to receive more divine guidance around yourself, around what is it that you're going to be letting go in your menstrual phase? What is it that you're going to be releasing? What is it that you no longer feel you want present and you want to give your attention to? And also, what is it that you've outgrown? So this is a very intimate phase of our cycle. And like I said, it's a phase that requires more solitude. It requires more connection with the self. This is when you may feel guided to journal more, or to go on solo walks or solo dates, or just listen to a podcast when you're doing cleaning at home. It's just when you feel that you want to spend time with yourself, because the external noise and the connections and interaction with other people are somewhat irritating. And they're irritating because it's too much noise that is straying you away from your own voice. And then we move towards the menstrual phase. This is the releasing phase. This is the cleansing phase. Not just for your body. Your body is cleansing through releasing blood, but your energy is also cleansing. Your whole space is cleansing. And this is once you've established in your luteal, what is it that you're letting go? Whether that's habits, whether that's beliefs, whether that's literally doing energetic rituals for releasing. And this is when you start to feel lighter. Your menstrual is like stripping you off from what no longer has room in your life, what no longer has the capacity to fit in your life, because you have expanded, or because you are about to be expanding, and this no longer fits there. It resonates on a different frequency. Moving through your menstrual, which is when we do all the deep cleanse, we move towards the follicular. And this is the one that we are really loving. This is the one that starts to give us that beautiful glow. We start to feel more energetic. We start to feel like we want to do more. We start to feel more creative. We feel like we have received so many downloads about what we want to give our energy to. And this is exactly what we do. And so during that phase, we start planning our actions. We start planning how we want to create, in what shape and form, in what way. Is it that we want to start a new project? Is it that we want to work towards a new goal, speaking in the human life, in the 3D life? And as we do that, right, as we take those aligned steps, we naturally fall into our ovulation phase, which is birthing new beginnings. This is where you are outwardly expressive. This is where your energy is just feeling like a flourished rose. This is when you just feel on top of your game. You just feel on top of the world. You just feel like the queen you are. This is the phase for expansion. This is the phase for growth, whether physical, whether spiritual. When you know what each of those phases is asking for, you can give it to yourself. But when you disregard all the signs, because the thing is that your body is so intelligent that throughout each of those phases, your body is constantly giving you signs of what you should move towards, what you're guided to flow towards. But if you ignore that, if you suppress that and try to live like a man, try to have your strict routine, try to be more disciplined because you need to do more, you go against your natural rhythm, you go against your natural cycle. And that is ultimately making you feel like you're not enough, like you're not doing enough. This is my plea to you. Pay attention to your cycle. Pay attention to the signs your body gives you. Pay attention to your moods, to your emotions. Because I always say, you would know that if you've followed my work for a while, or if we've worked on one-on-one, or if you've been part of the 7-day grounding transmission, which is exactly what we do. We dive into bringing our energy into our body, bringing our feminine energy into our sacred temple, and connecting with ourselves so we can start actively feeling and seeing all these signs. But if you've worked with me, you know that I refer to the feminine energy as your inner goddess and your body as your sacred temple. And so your sacred temple has to be polished, has to be cleansed, has to be, saged, metaphorically speaking, during those phases. It's asking for different type of care and different type of support. And if you don't give that to your body, if you don't care after your sacred temple, your inner goddess would not want to thrive. She would not want to grow and expand in it, and you will feel unsatisfied with yourself, despite how you show up for yourself, despite what you do for yourself. So if this is you, I want you to set an intention after watching this video. And the intention is that you are starting to connect with your body. And you're starting to embrace each sign your body gives you. You are starting to embrace your emotions, not dive into your emotions and drown in them, but connect with your emotions because they are intertwined with the body and the sensations your body feels. Your emotions are giving you constant clues about where you are energetically, around your frequency, around how you're vibrating. And based on how you're vibrating, this is what's coming back externally. And so set that intention that from this moment onwards, from this video onwards, you are more observant and you're more connected with your body and with your emotions. Thank you for being part of this video. I hope it gave you the guidance you need to flow into the connection you share with your body and with your divine femininity. I send you lots of love and I'll see you in the next video.